when you go in there with this skin complexion, he gonna look at you as a non-human, basically. Half the time, a lot of them still look at us like we not human and that we slaves, for real. That's just how they look at it. So your judgment is not gonna be the same as if you was, you know, another race. That's why statistics tell you that we go to jail faster and we the biggest population in the prison. So that right there lets you know that evidently we not getting a fair shot. Because I got this book tells you that black people's crime rate ain't changed since the 70s. But we are the most populated in the prisons.
Yeah.
So that man, so if we was only like 30 or 40% of the jail population in the 70s, that should be today. The same thing. It shouldn't be we 80 now. If our crime rate has not changed.
But they giving brothers longer sentences, so they still there. Like before they can leave, other people coming in because they hitting brothers with 10, 20. So you got a lot of people coming in doing 3, 5, and like some of the brothers is permanent residents. They're not going nowhere for 20, 30 years minimum. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we end up making 80%, because they just start giving brothers longer sentence for dope. You know what I'm saying? I mean, crime and violence is bad, but really people don't die off crack. You see the same things you seen 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Crack just mess up stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, gangs cause violence. A lot of things. Drinking too much alcohol can lead to violence, but the drug itself is not a killer. You know what I'm saying? But they giving people 20 years, you know what I'm saying? And people killing people and raping people and getting less than somebody who got caught with some drugs.
Yeah.
Just black. You know?
It says, if people stand to profit by our continued destruction, so people profiting off our destruction, off BET, destroying us, off us going to prison. That's people profiting off this stuff. Okay? Everything that's going wrong in our society as black people making money off that. They profiting off you getting drunk. You know what I'm saying? They profiting, man. It says, do you still wonder why our schools are like they are? There are folks not only investing in our demise, but many are contributing to it so they can get rich. This helps explain why China, with 3 times our population, has 50% less prisoners. They have a different relationship with their people. They are not as heavily invested in their people's destruction. I understand that many white families' livelihood is precedented on our children's incarceration. After setting this, placing all these social landmines, so he said they placing these social landmines, stumbling blocks, okay, in our community, drugs, guns, disease, alcohol, etc. There is yet another set of white folks who benefit off our children when they get to the penitentiary. The following expresses this reality. Okay, this is something right here. It said tens of thousands of U.S. inmates are paid from pennies to minimum wages minus fines and victim compensation for everything from grunt work to firefighting specialized labor. Here's a sample of what they make and for whom. Eating. Each month, California inmates process more than 680,000 pounds of beef, 400,000 pounds of chicken product, 450,000 gallons of milk, 280,000 loaves of bread, 2.9 million eggs. Starbucks subcontractor Signature Packaging Solution has hired Washington's prisoners to package holiday coffees. Confronted by a reporter in 2001, a Starbucks rep called the setup entirely consistent with our mission statement. So they basically like, we got these prisoners doing all this work for next to nothing, which is slavery, okay? And then they said, well, look, this is part of our program. If you don't like it, don't buy Starbucks. But we see everybody going straight to Starbucks. Okay, it says, these are not a handful of crackpots involved here. These are some of Americans' most respected companies and the like. You see this? So this is showing you that we respect people who are no good. Anybody who the masses respect is somebody who no good. That's all the information we done that we done read, and from Bible to whatever, pastors, everybody respect them. They no good. The Bible tell you if a man is, don't it tell you if a man is, I think it's in the Apocrypha, if a man is like respected by everybody, you know he ain't no good. Yeah, I think it say that in the Apocrypha.
I mean, because generally people only respect people with money.
Right.
Like I said, everybody that you can think of as good right now, in as far as that you'll see on TV, or that you could just think of if you have a worldly mind, they all have a lot of money.
Right.
Where are the good poor people at? Ain't no good poor people. Right. Evidently. You know what I'm saying? Even though in the Beatitudes, you know what I'm saying, in the gospel, Christ say, you know what I'm saying, blessed is the poor, for theirs is the kingdom of God.
Right.
But he say it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven than a camel head through the eye of a needle. But everybody that's perceived as good are people with money, because people equate goodness with money, and that's that European idea that's been implanted in our people's head that's going to lead to not only our physical demise that we can see, but it's going to lead to our spiritual demise and keep us out the kingdom, because we only equate blessings with money. We don't equate our blessings with having good health. We don't equate blessings with having children. We don't equate our blessings, you know what I'm saying?
Evidently not, because if we equated blessing with having children, we wouldn't have 1,700 abortions a year, and that's averaging like 4.5 to 5 a day.
Yeah.
Murder, straight murder, because you don't really care about your lineage. Okay, people care about their lineage, so they gonna have kids. And if you really have faith, you wouldn't be worried about nothing else. You would just have the kid because you knew the Most High was gonna take care of that. Just from you following his order when he said, be fruitful and multiply. But like Bezel said on that one video, that people are being very irresponsible by laying down and afterwards killing something that came by them. That's murder. That came by them doing this act, this irresponsible act, evidently. You got something? My bad. I cut you off.
No, I was just going to say, that's when we was talking about, I said abortion is the ultimate denial of responsibility for your actions. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know that sex, you know what I'm saying, what comes from sex is reproducing human beings. But then when somebody get pregnant, first thing you want to do is go get an abortion. You don't want to take responsibility for your act. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, it's perceived as a bad thing. But the people who planted it in our minds that having children was a bad thing was Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood, right, with the eugenics program. So this is what we saying about these ideas, man. Having these European ideas planted in your head. Because abortion is like normal now. But it's really, really wicked. Like, if abortion not wrong, what's wrong? For real, if killing a baby not wrong, what's wrong? If killing a baby not wrong, what's wrong? And partial birth abortions was legal in this country up until a few years ago. And I'm explaining to y'all what partial birth abortions is.
Because let me cut in real quick before you explain that. They said we the only people black people is the only people on this earth that's population staying the same because of abortion.
Yeah, I can believe it. You know what I'm saying?
We supposed to be the most populated people on this planet right now,
yeah,
damn near.
We've been getting
Because we done killed like 45 million of our babies, real talk.
Yeah.
Because them babies would have had babies.
Yeah.
You can't just count that one baby that got killed. You got to count that offspring that child possibly may have.
Yeah, since the 70s, since Roe versus Wade, when abortion been legal. But partial birth abortion is what led to stem cell research. What they used to